Okay, so yeah, this is my son's living area. And that's his bedroom right there. And I think right here, I want to build a wall. I'm going to build it out of pallet board material. And I'll have a door right here. Wall, door, pallet board material. Okay, so I pulled out a few pieces of 2x4 here. And I've created the initial plan for that one half of the wall. So it's going to be 28 inches across and it's going to be 79 inches tall. This will be room for the door that we're going to put in. Nice door that we're going to build, and hopefully we can make it so it's kind of a hidden door. If I can get it from this side, let's just see. Let's see. Square this up. Perfect. Working around all the garbage. Okay. Big curve, big knot, by golly. This is going to be the perfect pallet board fake wall. Okay, 28 inches. Go ahead and hit a 14-inch mark right there. This is the fit right here. So I'm following this line right here over to the doorstop. So I'll make a frame for the door. And that should line up with this plane right here, which should line up with this doorstop. Okay, so I got a bunch of boards pulled out. Got the plane already, so let's get some planing done. Okay, day number 2 of planing. We're almost done with the planing, and then we'll be ready to clean up the edges on this wood and stain it and get it ready to go to be cut and thrown up on the wall. Am I yelling? Okay, all the planing is done, and now I'll go ahead and just clean up all the edges of my boards, and this is kind of time consuming. All I do line up my edge with the blade, and I just skim off as little as possible. Okay, welcome back to my humble abode. Now, Sweetie Pie said, let's do something decorative on this wall and on the door. So I'll go ahead, and the only decorative thing that I can really think of doing is doing the 45s, the 45 boxing going up, and then just 45s finishing off the wall. So I'll need to drop in some cross members halfway down, halfway up, and we'll use that as our anchoring point for the first couple, and then we'll just go up using these and this right here. Okay, so we'll see how that turns out. Okay, so we know that Our wall is 79 inches tall. So what's half of 79? Just fold your tape measure back to 79 inches. Let's see here. Looks like it's going to be 39 and a half. That will be our halfway point. Most of you can do that in your head, but my brain, real little. Let's see here. This is 12 and a quarter. That board must have quite the warp in it, huh? 11 and 5/8. Oh, I bet if I tried real hard, I could make them both about 12 inches. Let's see. You know how you typically have a jack on your framing? When you put a door in, you have a jack. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and put in a second stud next to this stud right here, just to really make it solid, because I do not have the floor anchored in, because I don't want to make this 100% permanent in case I don't like it, so I can pull it out. I don't want to damage the tile. So what I'll do is I'll just really beef out the framing right here, because I will be hanging the door on this stud right here. Not this stud, this stud. Got my 12-inch piece measured right here. Fits perfect. Got this in here, perfect. And I'll get that screwed in. I need to figure out a way to anchor that down there, because I see it does have quite a bit of movement. I bet you if I shim it real well, it's gonna lock it into place. I just gotta do it. There's no other way to do this. Unless I make the door open this way. I make the door open this way. Things to consider, huh? Not gonna go anywhere. But take a look at this. Got myself a wedge. See if we can shim this up a little bit. So I'll put that in right there, and I'm gonna tap it in. I'll grab my level, make sure it's plumb, tap it in, and then I'll cut it off with my little oscillating tool, and by golly, we are in business. Whoosh. Hammer. Whoosh. Come on, get over there. Oscillating tool. Gee. What else was I gonna get? A level. There we go. Okay, she looks pretty plumb. Let's tap this in. They call this the old one-handed oscillator. The majority of these boards are going to be stained brown. Oh, that's a stiff glove. So I haven't really determined how many I need, but I do know that if I get all these stained brown, I'll end up using them somewhere. And then I'm gonna stain a couple gray, and that way I'll have like an accent gray within the brown. Don't worry, I got the wife's thumbs up on that concept. Okay, so the stain is still nice and wet, but I'm just too anxious to get this job going. So we'll go ahead and cut our center pieces. They'll all be 45 degrees. Okay, let's see how these look. Okay, so I went ahead and took my level, and I realized I didn't put my cross members in too level, but it doesn't matter. As long as I have something that I can bite into when I brad nail my pieces on. And so this is plumb, this is level, this is my center point. I'll take my triangular pieces and I will line them up accordingly. And we will start putting this bad boy together, okay? Yeah, we can do it. If we don't like it, we can redo it. Okay? Pretty fancy. I like it. I heard you pros out there. I am going to do it. I can just go ahead. This will fit over here. Right? So just get a mark. Mark. Cut it. I'll be right back. Yeah, it's not looking too bad. But I don't know if you noticed or not, but I'm kind of running out of board right there, so I'm gonna not cheat. I'm going to improvise. And put another board right there. And that way I'm not going to run out of board to tack to going on down. I think that's going to be okay. Okay, ta-da! Decided to go with the dark walnut. Okay, that looks pretty good. A little bit of a gap right here, but that's okay. Okay, let's go see. I'll probably have to go with the brown. I'll finish it off with the brown. Okay, if this doesn't fit, just gonna take the whole thing down and turn it into a go-kart. Just a decorative wall, people. perfect, you know, which is good. Barely noticeable, but I think it looks a little bit better. I went a little heavy on this cut because I played around with the last one so much, but it wasn't heavy enough. Let me go take off the quarter. Very nice fit. Very nice. Very nice that fit. Okay. Okay, I think I have the last measurements here. See how they fit. That fits pretty nice. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you know I did that one a few times. Okay. And then there's a little piece right here that goes right on that corner. And you know what? I think it's almost worthless to put in there because it's probably going to crack, but I'll give it a shot. Hey, it's in there and you can barely see it. All right, that is the wall. Kind of groovy looking. And I guess what's next is I'll have to think about how I want to put the door in. But I'm done for the day. I'm cold. I'm hungry. And this requires some thinking. Okay, man, is it cold out here. Woo! Well, we need to get a door built. So we might as well just get her going. I think I'll put on my coat though. Okay, so the first thing we'll do is we'll measure the door. And then I will frame that outside. And then we'll bring it back in, we'll hang it up. Okay, you know, I know I got some hinges around here someplace. Oh, those might work. Or I could just use those. Okay, let's go ahead and grab ourselves some hinges. Yeah, when I took that door down 5 years ago, I knew I'd have a reason to hang on to these hinges. All right. Okay, well, I'm a coward, so I'm gonna go ahead, instead of cutting these doors at 78.5, I'll cut them at 78 and, well, probably 78. I'll just do them at 78. And we'll cut them off to 45 degrees so that we can piece the ends together, and I'll glue them and screw them, okay? So I got 29.5 on here, and I think I'm gonna do 29.25. I think that'll give us adequate room to play with. 29.25. I think I'll give a couple of these spray with some bleach to, I think that mildew that's on here is dead because it's dry, but just to be on the safe side, I'll go ahead and give her a quick spray. Okay, that's about probably a 10% bleach concentration. the door laid out and just doing my dry fit. And I'm trying to figure out, okay, I will glue these and I will tap them on each side with screws that are 2.5 inches long. I've got my tapper drill bit with a piece of tape marked, and I'm going to come in about 3 inches, come in at a 45, and I'll tap it in that far to that mark, which means my screw will come in about that far. I think that'll be adequate, especially with the glue on there. So let's get tapping, gluing, and screwing. And sometimes you have to try to manipulate your corners into position using your clamps. And we'll see if that helps. They were a little bit crooked to begin with. Okay. Okay. See if they stay. Stay. Hey, not too bad. I think that'll be all right. Okay, now, before anybody gets too far along, just please understand, I'm not a professional. I'm not trying to do a how-to video. I'm just doing a video that's, kind of entertaining. Maybe just give you an idea of something that you could do. And I wouldn't do it the way I'm doing it because I just kind of do things and just see how they turn out. I don't want anybody getting mad at me saying, Brett, I did what you did and it looks like... Can't have that. Okay, I got my wood clamps thrown on there to kind of keep my 45s flush. Now let's take a look and find our center point. 29.5. So half of 29.5 is going to be about 14.75. Okay, let's do our measurement here, see how long our insets are going to be. You see, if God would have given me brains instead of such amazingly good-looking good looks, I could do this in my head. 71 5/16. 71 5/16. We're looking at 22 7/16. Let's go cut some wood. All right, the pieces are cut. Looks like this one just flopped right into it. Almost. Yep. That will be good. This one right here looks like it's going to be pretty close. And then, just to give you all an idea of what I'm going to do, I'll take these pieces and I'm going to cut a notch into this one going this way, notch into this one going the opposite way, so they click in and lock in together, okay? Set this at about 3/4 of an inch. Put on my respirator too because it kicks up a lot of dust. Come on, baby. Oh yeah, I heard you. I heard you say something. There we go. All right, actually, I'm gonna do my first 2 marks using the miter saw because those will definitely be square, whereas if I do this, it could be crooked, could be all over the place. See that? Hopefully that'll keep me somewhat square. Chili. All right. Well, look at how nice that fit in there. Didn't have to motivate it or nothing. And look at how flush that is. That's perfect. All right. Oh. Now all we're gonna do, we'll set it in place. And we will screw it in. All right, so now I'm going around and tapping holes to screw in our cross members to the exterior of the frame. I'll get everything centered as well as I can before I drill them in. But right now I'm just tapping the holes and I'll screw them in. And then I'll take this thing in and we'll do a dry fit and make sure it's going to fit okay. And to pretty up those hinges a little bit, so I threw some spray paint on there. We'll see how nicely those dry. And I'm heading out to break down those pallets. Seriously. All right. Got those boards broke down. Now I just got to remove the nails out of them. Okay, for grins and giggles, let's take our door frame and see how it fits. All right, looks like it's gonna fit. Well, I had to get Meg's input, and I'm glad I did. We're gonna go ahead and have the door open inward instead of outward, and I think that's gonna be okay. So I'm gonna sand this down a little bit because not as flush as I want it to be in some spots. I just want to get it cleaned up before I start putting my boards on there. And I'm also going to chisel out areas for my hinges. So let's get that going. Okay, so I don't really know how to space out the hinges on this door to be most effective. However, I would suspect that a hinge centered right there would probably be a pretty good place to start with a hinge, right? That'd be another good spot for a hinge. Probably about 6 inches up. So make sure they're kind of square. Think that'll do? Okay. Okay, I don't know if that's going to make much difference, but I could probably take it down a little bit more. Let's see how I tried to bring the hinge in a little bit so it wasn't hanging out so far. open that way. All right, well, it's not perfect, which I kind of knew that it wouldn't be, but I'm gonna go ahead and finish anchoring this down, getting our hinges in place. Okay, so we got the hinges in place. Our reveal really isn't too bad. The door opens up nicely. Yes, those are the slats I just tore apart, and the door is hung up. I'm gonna plane these down and get them stained so we can get those hung up on the door. Okay, well, don't get mad at me, but I've been working on this project here. I worked on it last night for a while, and then it's a nice rainy, sleety morning this morning, so I moved everything inside. And I will go ahead and finish off what I can on my door here, and then we will go ahead and remount it. All right, let's do it. Okay, I had to plane down a few more pieces here. Oh. Alright, looks like it'll fit. Better get her stained first. Variations in the color of the stain. It's just different kinds of wood, so it takes the stain differently.
And you know what? That's expected because that's what makes it so beautiful.
Well, thank you.
No two wood pieces are the same.
No, they're not. Okay, so I know that my planks are laying over in some spots. Some spots I want them to, like on that outside corner where I have the doorstop. I want that to hang over about 1/2 inch. But I want these ones on this side to be fairly flush. So I made my marks on where I want to cut, and I've got my chalk line here. And I'm going to see if I can snap a little line. Put a little bit of chalk in there. Whoa, yeah, it filled up pretty quick. Give it a shake. that I'll cut this and mess up the whole project. But you have to have faith and just do it. Don't be afraid. Maybe you're afraid, but control that fear. All right, well, let's go ahead and measure out our cut line for the guide. Doesn't look like it moved too much, so I think we're gonna be good. And this right here, 1.5 inches from our mark. Look at it once, twice, 3 times, a lady. Where are my glasses at? Oh, they're on my head. Why didn't you tell me that, people? Okay. Looks like I better start from the other side. I'm so nervous. Get excited. Okay. Now, here we go. Okay, so here's a little alternative. I'll use that level. I'll just do about half of one whack, and I'll come back and do half the other whack. And that keeps my level is on the whole surface of the door, instead of having a big old gap in the middle. Let's see how this goes. I got my line all set up to cut, so I'm gonna cut it. Okay, fit test. I gotta turn your light on, Miko. Okay. Okay, it doesn't line up perfectly, but here, let me close it for you so you can get an idea what it's gonna look like.
What handle are we gonna get? Oh, that's pretty sick. That is real. Dang. Yeah, that looks good.
Pretty wild, huh?
Yeah.
Piece of art. Oh yeah, look at that. That completes it. I'll take a piece of wood, much like this piece of wood, and I am going to router the edges with a nice decorative router. And then I am going to stain it a pretty color. Stained. And then I'm going to take a hook and put a coat hook right there. I'll put a coat hook right there. And then on the inside, Miko's going to have himself a piece of dowel that's going to go through the door. And this is going to be to our hook right there. And this is going to have a little handle on it so he can turn it from the inside to close it or open it. Boom, baby. That's all we got to do, so let's do it. There we go. Oops. So, because I'm silly, I'm going to go for the biggest one I can find. This one right here, that's going to give us kind of an interesting cut. So let me cut that, and I'll be right back with you. All right. And we have power. We have power, Captain. There we go. Let's see here. Okay, got that piece right there. after. Get this sanded down. All right, so we got some stain applied. Looks pretty nice, I would say. I'm pretty good at eyeballing stuff. I'm really not good at eyeballing stuff. I just thought I'd say that. Center this to a degree. Come on. Come on, people. Okay. Okay, we got our hooks. Yeah, that one's definitely, this one's definitely crooked. The best thing to do, in my book, is leave it as it is for now. Because this plan may not even plan out the way I'm planning it. I got some dowel. Let's go measure how long my dowel needs to be. It's gonna have to be the distance from this surface to that surface. Okay, so something else that just occurred to me. My dowel piece, I think that I'm gonna want that behind the hook. So when this is turned up, it's gonna turn up on one side of the door, and when it comes down, it's gonna block both the doors. Okay, so I'm gonna take this off. Okay, I'm gonna find kind of the center on this dowel here. Just get that started. Why not? I'll find the center point right here. Okay. Then we'll grab ourselves one of these skinny ones. A little bit of glue. A little glue. A little bit of a screw. Another bit. That one is it. Okay. Okay. According to the tag, it's 1 1/4 inches. So I wonder if I could just get 1 1/4 bit. 1 1/4 inches. Okay, now if there's one thing I know, which is very little, maybe I should have put it on this side. Okay, I decided that I'll go with my initial concept, and I created it, I can ruin it, right? So let's go ahead and we will drop, I think that was the spot. Drop a hole right there. Yeah, perfect. It's like dun 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 dun. Whoosh. All right, put it back down. Oh, Miko is a thinker. He said, "Well, Dad, if you put the coat hooks up there, you're not gonna be able to hang anything on it. Why don't you make a little sign?" or a picture or a painting. And I said, you know, son, that's a good idea. Put a little varnish on our little coat rack. Okay, last idea of the day. And then I promise I'm done. Got some glue on my dowel. Okay. Pretty fancy. Now we'll go in and we will see if I were to stain this to match the stain and kind of camouflage it on there. That might be kind of interesting. Let's take a look. And then stain this the same colors as those, like camouflage. Okay, we're done for the day. Is it perfect? No, but does it kind of match the decor of the room? It sure does. Yeah, I think it looks all right. That gap in the middle, I'm sorry about that, but sometimes I just do things because I'd rather have a gap than have it too close and rubbing. And our little door closer upper, that turned out pretty good. Now all I got to do is just figure out how I want to do the back, but yeah. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Kind of interesting.